Under the vast Egyptian sky, Thebes stands as a beacon of civilization and culture, its temples and monuments reflecting the glory of an ancient empire. As twilight descends, the streets of Thebes are filled with whispers of unease. Families gather around flickering oil lamps, their conversations hushed as they speak of the looming threat, the Hyksos, invaders from the north. Inside the grand palace, Ahmose, the young pharaoh, meets with his council. The weight of his lineage rests heavy on his shoulders as he listens to the dire reports of increasing Hyksos raids. With determination etched on his face, Ahmose rises to address his advisors. "We cannot allow fear to govern us. We must unite and prepare for battle." His words resonate through the chamber, igniting a flicker of hope among his council. At the edge of the city, the sun sets on the horizon, casting long shadows over the sands. In the distance, dust clouds stir, a harbinger of the approaching storm. Gathering his generals, Ahmose studies a map spread across the table, his finger tracing the lines that mark their borders. Each decision is a potential. The sounds of preparation echo in the palace as soldiers don their armor, sharpening weapons and rallying together. Ahmose watches, his resolve strengthening with each passing moment. As night falls, the stars twinkle above like ancient eyes watching over Egypt. Ahmose steps onto the balcony, gazing at the familiar landscape, a land rich in history and promise. "We will not fall," he vows silently. The people of Thebes sleep fitfully, unaware of the storm gathering on the horizon. But Ahmose, standing watch over his kingdom, feels the weight of their hopes resting on his shoulders. With dawn approaching, the pharaoh steels himself for what lies ahead. The battle for Egypt is about to begin, and he will lead his people into the fray, ready to reclaim their destiny. With the dawn breaking, Ahmose gathers his troops in the training grounds. The air is thick with tension, and anticipation fills the hearts of those who stand ready to defend their homeland. Standing before them, Ahmose speaks with fervor, reminding them of their ancestors and the glory that awaits those who fight for their freedom. The soldiers train with relentless determination, each swing of the sword echoing their commitment. Their hearts beat as one, united in purpose. While the warriors prepare, skilled craftsmen work tirelessly to forge weapons and armor, ensuring that every soldier is equipped for the battle. Families gather to bid farewell to their warriors, the air heavy with emotion. Tears are shed, but pride also fills their hearts as they send their loved ones into battle. Seeking strength from the gods, Ahmose visits the temple, where priests offer blessings and prayers for victory, invoking the favor of the divine for their mission. As he dons his royal armor, Ahmose feels the weight of responsibility. Each piece represents not just protection, but the hope of a nation waiting for liberation. At last, the army stands ready, a sea of determined faces, each warrior knowing that today they fight not just for themselves, but for all of Egypt. With their banners held high, the army marches out of Thebes, the sun shining down as they head toward the battlefield. A sense of destiny fills the air. Leading the charge, Ahmose feels the weight of his people's hopes on his shoulders. Today, they will reclaim their land, and their story will be written in the annals of history.
The battlefield stretches out before them, a stark reminder of the challenge that lies ahead. The Hyksos stand ready, their armor glinting ominously in the sunlight. Ahmose takes a deep breath, his gaze fixed on the enemy lines. The moment of reckoning has arrived, and he knows that victory is within their grasp. With a resounding blast of war horns, the battle begins. The ground trembles as thousands of feet charge forward, ready to clash in a fight for survival. The battlefield erupts into chaos as swords clash and arrows rain down from above. The air is thick with the cries of men and the sounds of combat. Amidst the turmoil, Egyptian soldiers rally together, their determination unwavering. They fight as one, driven by the hope of reclaiming their homeland. With courage in his heart, Ahmose charges into the fray, leading his men with fierce resolve. His sword raised high, he becomes a symbol of hope on the battlefield. The clash of warriors fills the air as individual acts of bravery unfold, each soldier fighting not just for victory, but for their families and their future. In the heart of the battle, Ahmose finds himself face to face with a Hyksos leader. Tension hangs in the air as they prepare to engage in a duel that could determine the fate of their peoples. Slowly, the tide of battle begins to shift. The Egyptians, fueled by their desire for freedom, press forward, pushing the Hyksos back across the dusty plain. With a resounding cry for victory, Ahmose rallies his soldiers. Together, they charge forward, united in their quest for liberation and ready to reclaim their homeland. In a climactic moment, Ahmose and the Hyksos leader clash in a fierce duel. Sparks fly as their swords collide, each strike resonating with the weight of their respective destinies. With a final decisive strike, Ahmose gains the upper hand, pushing the Hyksos leader back. His soldiers rally behind him, emboldened by their pharaoh's strength and courage. Ahmose, with fire in his eyes, rallies his troops for one last charge. "Now is the time to reclaim our home," he cries, his voice echoing across the battlefield. Determined not to let this moment slip away, Ahmose leads the charge after the retreating Hyksos, his heart set on securing a definitive victory for Egypt. As the sun begins to set, the Egyptian forces push the Hyksos back, the shadows lengthening, marking the end of a fierce battle that will shape the future of their nation. At the day's end, Ahmose stands victorious amidst his loyal soldiers, and their legacy will echo through the ages. Finally, after we witness the history writing as our story closed its final chapter, don't forget to subscribe for more captivating historical stories. Hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What part of Ahmose's story inspires you the most?